Namaste everyone. Namaskar. I'm trying to see Neelakantan ji. I think he's not there. Good to see everyone. Thank you. We can start with any question, anything, whatever anyone wants to ask. You can be unmuted if you raise your hand on your video, or there is also a emoji type of thing which you can. Yes, definitely.
Namaste, Sanjay.
Hello, Ray ji, how are you?
It's Raj. Raj. Actually, this is my English. We have spoken before. Sanjay ji, nice to see you all, and especially see you after a while.
Yeah, we had a gap. We started on Monday. That was early morning here. And we have made changes in the timing. Now we are starting at 5 a.m., which might be a bit discomfort to some of the Melbourne people. But I think it's good early morning. We say Brahm Muhurat starting at 3 a.m., though it's 5. And then some people from India, when they join, it's too late there. So I think it's 5 would be okay. This timing we have kept the same, 8:30.
Thank God for that. I noticed that change in time, and I will make it one day because it's 4. I'm in Hong Kong, so it is 1 hour before.
4 a.m. is good. That's the best time.
Today I was up at 3. I'm getting there.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, ask me what you wanted to ask something.
I wanted to go to Arunachala also in December, but somehow when your email came, in my heart I knew it's not going to happen. So I sent 4 emails to you, but I never got response, and somehow it did happen. So I knew it was not going to happen. But all good. I look forward to the next time of that.
Yeah. Look, if you want to make a plan to go to Arunachala, I'm no one to give anyone permission. Even if I'm not there, you can go. Anyone can go. But yeah, we were there and we could have met. But anyway, next time is always there.
So no problem. Like I tell you, in my heart, I knew it somehow. Even when I was emailing, somehow I just knew this time it's not happening. I've been to Arunachala and I will go again, but maybe one time when you're there. The question I have in my heart is actually, I have come to this place and I listen to your things every day. And, it's the only thing I want is to listen to it. The only thing I want is to drop, and things are dropping away, and everything is dropping. But there is one thing that keeps coming back, and I know the answer to it, but that knowing is still not burning away. It's not dropping away. Being a business owner, when I'm role playing in the business world, the whole business world is about the next best thing, more expense should be, profit should be more than that. And then comes sound saying, oh, you're not doing enough. You're not aggressive. I feel like I'm losing the aggressiveness, which is I'm very peaceful. I sleep well, I wake up well, it's not, no hardships, thankfully, yes, no hardships, yes. But there is this nag of that, I don't know, it's this habit. I used to be very aggressive. I'm taking so many actions and taking so many things. They're going on. Results are there. Sometimes results are not there. It's all going on. But there is this nagging thing that I'm always, observing that there is no aggression. And when I meet somebody who is more, or my friend who is earning more or very aggressive and, doing so much, somehow I'm like, oh, am I losing myself? Am I finding myself? Am I finding myself or am I losing myself? Am I finding myself? Am I losing myself? Though I'm very peaceful, I'm not feeling that fire to run after something. But there is, how do you say, something's feeling like, should I belong in this race? Should I be running this race anymore? Should I just shut down this? And I know, Bhagavan says keep going on and do what you're doing. And, you don't have to be peaceful in your heart, come from the zero place. But I don't know if I'm getting across clearly.
Yeah, look, I think you're quite right what you're saying, because in business and everything, it's competitiveness, aggressiveness, moving ahead, keep thinking, finding ways how to increase the profit. That's what business means for a lot of people, and living a life. And they say you should have passion for what you do, you should die for it, and look, I can understand where it comes from, but passion is intense desire, nothing else. And if the intense desire is outward, how can you make the whole mind absorbed in the self? Because I'll tell you, when we work in the external world, you can keep part of your mind externally and you can accomplish things half-heartedly, you can say, or less passionate, or you can be diversifying your business in 10 or 20 different things, and you can still earn, and you can do things with a little bit of a mind external. But this is very, very important to understand that absorption into the self is a all or none phenomena. You can't do half-heartedly or little bit there and little bit outside. External world, you can live little bit outside, little bit this, little bit that, and you can still accomplish. But to be there, it is a all or none, 0% or 100%. Because we need to understand this mind, which is actually same self, but with mix up of our tendencies, our vasanas, our latent impressions. Self is nothing but detaching from all that. And detaching means you completely merge all what you think, giving ahuti of everything what you are into this and just finishing it off. So this finishing can only happen when this is complete, 100%. So if, let's say, if there are desires and passion is an intense desire, then how would it happen? So one has to choose what you want. You want to earn more, because earning more might happen even without you not liking it or without even not going for it. But it is all about desire. Is your desire into earning or your desire into abiding in self? That doesn't mean that you don't work or do things. You can continue with your desireless actions, and whatever that action will lead to whatever fruit it will happen. If your job, you earn money from it, it will happen. But it is not your passion, it is not your desire, and you are contented, you are happy. Actually, you gave your answer very beautifully, that I am feeling more peaceful, I sleep well, and everything is okay. That is the mark of wisdom, then, when we are peaceful. So not your bank balance or how much profit you are gaining or less gaining this year, So one has to choose, one has to be very clear in this understanding that abiding in self has nothing to do with more income generation or less income generation. Whatever will happen, maybe some things will settle the score. Maybe the boost up ego, which was happy with lot of earning, has to show its true face and might become more humble with less earning, and might that help to abide in self. So it's a win-win situation whatever way it goes. So you're not losing anything.
I must also share one more thing. On Sunday night, I was doing a meditation from Papaji, and for that one instance in that meditation, I actually was in complete awareness self. And I actually could see that this life and all lives, this has been the same. This is just outwardly changing and outwardly changing. This is a different life. And at that moment, my heart was one strong realization that this, inside of this presence, anything outwardly is worthless. It's completely worthless.
It is as worth as a dream you see at night. If you think your dream was important, then this is also important. Dream is not important, this is also not important. No difference. No difference. But this dream is such a beautiful dream. Like, we make 3D movies and give animation so real that it looks real. And this is done by Paramatma, and that absolute. It has to look so real. That's why it looks so real. It's beautiful. This understanding and this living in this dream is more interesting when we know it is a dream. Then nothing touches us, and then you can enjoy and you can be out of it both at the same time. You will be talking and you are in silence both at the same time. And you know that you are always uninvolved, but that involvement of the body and things are still happening, and you are just witnessing. It is so peaceful. You are always at peace, even when you are arguing with someone for something. So this is the beauty of it. Like, this is the first time we start living a life with wisdom. It is so entertaining. It is so fulfilling because you're already, there's nothing for us to do to show to others or to our ego that I have achieved. Because all this wealth, money, name, fame is sort of an achievement. One feels that I've done something, I'm useful to the world or to society or to family. But we are already full, we are already complete. There's nothing to prove to anyone. And who is other? They are part of our dream only, projection of our own mind. There's no other, nothing. So let's say if everyone is you only, or everything belongs to you, then all the competition drops, isn't it? Let's say the opponent of your business is also coming from your image. If he gets more or you get more, you are getting more. It's part of you only. Nothing is separate. Here the mind stops working because the mind continues. So far we are separate than other. Mind is to sustain individuality, nothing else, which we call as Jivatma. Jivatma is a knot. Jiva, which is fake ego, and Atma is always that self, pure self. It is actually Atma. Jiva, who is really struggling and who is doing and doership, this all is just fake. So this passion and intense drive and aggressiveness, this all is part of ego. It is a good sign of melting away of ego if there is no aggressiveness. It is very good. Just keep observing.
I think it's just the familiarity of it. This is a new space.
It is a beautiful space, and this space is us. It's not, actually it is not new also. It is that truth. But because it was covered for so long with the dust of ego, that it looks like a newfound thing, but this is what it is. And you said it was always the same, like in even looking through the previous birth after birth after birth, forms are changing, but that awareness is the same, never changes. If Ram found it in Treta Yuga, and then Dwapar Yuga, Krishna found, or Jesus found, or Buddha found 2500 years ago, there is no time in that. It is this moment only. Time is like a dream. We have dreamt that long, that's all. There's nothing, there's no other time. In a dream, we could live 50 years, 60 years, but there might be only a couple of minutes gone. It is so peaceful, it is so loving, this awareness, I don't know. It is indescribable peace. Nothing can give that peace. People look for happiness in things and having a chocolate or an ice cream or a coffee or visiting a place or meeting a new partner or something, acquiring. This is the blessing of that awareness which takes over. Let it take over everything. Let you even be happy if it makes you a pauper from a rich man. How does it matter? It's a changing scene. In a movie, these film actors, they do so many roles and we say they are acting. We are also acting. Most of us, we stay in one role and then we just finish off with that role and die. Who knows, maybe from rich to rags story or rags to rich or anything can happen. Let it happen. Stay like a dry leaf in the wind. Just keep going. Just be an observer. Actually, it is a very intense activity, being an observer. It's not dull. It's not laziness. It is the other end. But the mind will say, oh, you have no passion, you're not taking it seriously, you're not doing your role properly, you're a businessman. Businessmen should be having targets and targets should be high enough to be achieved and go for it. You might be having people working with you who can look into the targets and all, and you can just be enjoying your bliss. If it happens, happens. It doesn't happen, well and good.
Actually, things that I don't run after are happening. They're coming directly, results are happening, and in reality, I am much better than my mind could imagine.
Yeah. This is all grace. This all is grace. Everything just happens when it has to happen. I'll tell you the biggest difference living in ego and without ego is that in ego, let's say you have to call someone or you have to contact, you keep dialing, you will call and then you email and then you will call someone, he's not answering and all. But in awareness, you try once or twice, it's not happening, it's not the time, you leave it. Whether it is loss or profitable doesn't matter. That's the way it has to be, So you go with the flow. I'll give you a story about Bhagavan. You can understand even in a small thing or a big thing. One day, someone brought some breakfast for Bhagavan, and then someone else brought, and then he ate too much. And he thought, it's too much today, I'll just walk around I'll do a parikrama, I'll go around the Arunachala and I'll not eat today anything, he decided that. So he without telling anyone, he just left. And he said, I went a little bit inside the forest because in the previous days there was inner circle also, which now they have closed. And he found 7 ladies who were also walking or collecting some leaves and things like that for making leaf plate. They asked about where is the pond, and he knew each and everything. He said the pond is there. So he said, oh, you've told us where the pond is. Now we brought some food, you have to have it. It is like prasad, you are a swami and you can't say no. Then he couldn't say no and he sat, and all 7 of them gave little bit and it became so big and he has to finish the whole thing. Then he said, oh, okay. And then he moved quickly and then he went to some other place in afternoon. Those 7 females again he met. And then they again asked about something he said, and they said, now we have brought lunch also. So you have to have lunch with us. And then he has to have lunch with them. And he said, I decided not to eat, but I have eaten much more than what I could have eaten when I would have been in ashram. And then he kept going. And then he found a place which was in thick forest, and he stayed there in that place, and he was sure nobody can find him. And he had a good sleep there, and then he thought he should start walking again. It was around 5 p.m. and he has to go back to the ashram. So as soon as he came out, there was a man with a pitcher who brought some mango juice with a payasam or something, and he was looking for him, and he thought he came from the other end, so he might meet Bhagwan there. And he brought from some other city, and he said, you have to have it. I brought it only for you. So that day Bhagwan said, I never take any sankalpa, but that day I decided that I should escape from eating. But if it is not in my destiny, if this is the day that I have to be well fed, I'll accept it. So it is just a very small example, just that whatever happens, even in Bhagwan's life, sankalpa doesn't help. Whatever happens, there just happens, So just take it as it comes. Whatever, good or bad, is our mind which makes it good or bad. If something happens, what our conditioned mind thinks, we say it's good. What our conditioned mind thinks it's not good, we say it's bad. But things just happens. So staying as a witness always keeps you in bliss, always keeps you contented. And this is an intense practice, because you have to get out of this ego mode and keep attention on this awareness. And this attention, which is full of effort to start with, soon becomes effortless, because you enjoy this bliss so much that then whoever wants you to go back into that state, you don't want to be. And who wants you to be in that state again, ego state? Only your thoughts. No one else. No one pushes. No one can push you. No one can spoil us except our own thoughts. And if you understand their trick, how they pull us into Maya, you just listen as a background noise, and you just smile on them, and you just stay there. Whether your work is good or bad, or it's about money or welfare of others or whatever, let that absolute decide, let absolute plan, and let absolute take you as an instrument to do that job. You just relax, complete relaxation. Because if we stay as that formless and nameless, then nothing affects us. You sleep like a baby, you get up like a baby, you stay with a smile on your face. There is no insult, no pride, nothing. You live in the word and you live outside the word at the same time. Nothing to lose in this. Why to lose your sleep for anything? We are having a retreat in March. If I don't know where you live, but you're most welcome to come to Melbourne.
I am looking. I will definitely. It's like I said, it's on my list to see you in person this time. So I have the dates. I think it's March 8th, 9th, or something like this, around Mahashivratri time. I'm actually in Bali. This can happen. I can fly closer to you from there. So thank you so much. I will, like we said, let it unfold. We will let
whatever
let,
way. They say inshallah. Inshallah is the most beautiful word. Inshallah.
I like inshallah. I like inshallah very much. I like alhamdulillah also very much. I use it a lot.
Inshallah. Whatever God permits, allows, wishes.
Yes. As per God's plan, in divine will.
Divine will, yeah. When we pay attention to the self, mind can say it is so boring and what is the fun in it, and let's do some. The doership keeps attacking you, to start with. But once you have glimpse of it, taste of it, understanding of it, experience of it, then nothing can take you away from it. No action, nobody can bribe you. I was taking a retreat this weekend, it was for Parkinson's patients. And this lady who runs that place told me that I'm very proud of myself. No one can bribe me about anything because I have no taste for anything. And I told her that people can bribe me anytime. She said, what is it? I said, just interested in self. And I get drawn to them so much. I always get involved. It is something mesmerizing to me. And I can be with those people and I can talk or be with them or whatever it is, whatever association it can create. I get completely drawn. I don't think she understood what I'm saying because it is so hard to make anyone understand this, It is an amazing thing. If you have tasted, then you know. If you have experienced even a glimpse for a fraction of a second, you know what it is. Because if the mind comes back, it is just an experience, but it is not an experience, it is us. We are that sun which is shining all the time. Clouds of mind sometimes takes over and it appears that it is lost. It is smiling and it is shining and it is witnessing even when we think it is lost. Because we are lost in thoughts. It is always the same, unchanging reality. When we keep repeating wrong thing again and again, then it becomes like a reality, then everyone thinks it is real. If we keep repeating the false story, it is like that. And truth is silence. It never argues. Someone says God is dead or there is no God. Truth never says anything. It has no time even to punish anyone. It is so uninvolved. It just leaves things as ego feels. Bhagavan is the best example. During his times, people wrote his biography, showed it to him, and he only did grammatical corrections. While others read, it was all false. And they said to Bhagavan, you haven't corrected. He said, it's their mind, they think, let them think this way. We can put a lawsuit against someone if someone writes a wrong story about us. It happens all the time. Fake news. How free he was, how much disentangled he was from all the society and people and their mind and their thoughts. A jnani like him said to us that self-realization is the best gift you can give it to the world. He's not talking about to yourself. Ego always think about me. And a lot of people think seekers are the selfish people. They're always looking into their own self-realization or moksha, freedom, rather than doing welfare of the world. Bhagavan said very clearly, self-realization is the best gift you can give it to the world. He's not saying to you. And then some religions and some sects have created a different story that I will do self-realization once I have made everyone self-realized. What a stupidity. It is your mind's dream. You have to wake up. It is like you are dreaming and then you are saying, I will get out of this dream once all in my dream wakes up. Then I will wake up. What is this nonsense? This makes you understand how shallow is their understanding about the truth. It is only bookish truth. They have not gone deep digging within. That is why it is a very, very deep journey. It can take years and years of intense longing, and then it fructifies. It's not about reading a book and understanding the truth. We have to be that truth. Then all understanding comes from within. You are that understanding. You are that knowledge. We are so fortunate that these teachings were given so recently, so there is no contamination of these teachings. They are so pure. And not one person wrote, like there were 2 or 3 writers when the talks were going on. And then same questions were repeated so many times in those years. So you know again and again what he wants to say. Read it, listen to it, contemplate, and practice, 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 practice. And it works. It has worked for thousands of people, or maybe more, I don't know. And it works. A recent contemporary guru was saying to some people, I heard that Bhagwan's teachings are very complex. It's very hard to understand. And so do some yoga. Look, I can say Bhagwan himself has said that it is for a mature seeker. Mature doesn't mean with your age. Maturity doesn't mean that you have done a lot of practices in the past. Maturity only means that you are ready to drop everything now. You don't want any more drama. But most of the people love some drama, some action, something should happen. So you can take a long path. It is so direct, so straight. Every time we have a doubt, we should ask, who has the doubt? Check this doubter. Keep checking this doubter so the doubter disappears. Once we understand, we have a knack of this self-attention is so powerful. What people call as third eye, this is the eye of wisdom, which is always looking into the self, our inner eye. Unconcerned what people are thinking, doing, what this body is doing, what are the balance sheet, what is happening, what is not happening. And then we realize that so many things which I have no intention, no efforts is happening, flourishing, things are getting better. Then we call it miracles, and life is a miracle in that sense. Everything is happening on its own. Only ego thinks I am the doer. And here comes whole problem and samsara. And this is the biggest entrapment, doership. And doership is the first and last sin, because Paramatma is doing everything and we take credit. I am doing. I am a self-made man. Self-made man? I've never seen in my life. Are you a hermaphrodite? Like you don't have parents? How you came onto this being? Self-made. Like an amoeba? This is ego. Ego speaks like this. Even anyone who achieves really big in life, there are so many people who help that person. Family, friends, coach, organization, whatever it is. And most of all, that energy which comes from that absolute only into this body. Some people think that when we work hard with doership, we are productive, we are doing at least something rather than not doing anything. But we all know that not doing anything is much more difficult than doing anything. It is very hard because most of us are Rajasic people. Not to do is so hard. And before doing, it is the thoughts, intention, which are so many. Some people can't stay still. They just want to do something. They have to do something. I have a neighbor who is always fixing something. I don't know how many problems in his house are, but always he's fixing something. Always have some instrument in his hand, power tools and all those things. Because it's just a habit, Doership is a habit. So with actions of the body, and if we start witnessing all the actions, it gives a beautiful feeling. And then we start realizing that things just happens. I don't do. Some power does through us. And then we truly become instrument of God or that power. You can say Bhagavan had no intention to do anything. He had no intention to be Guru. He had no intention of any kind, but still things happened, intense things happened. Even now it is happening. We just recently celebrated his 144th Jayanti, his birthday. His teaching started, let's say, around the age of 17 or 18 or 20. More than 120 years. In his silence, more people are joining. This time when I was in a Ramana ashram, Dr. Anand, president, was saying that it is just exponentially increasing every month. We don't know where all these people are coming. This is power of silence. Silence can do everything for us. Silence is doing everything for us, for everyone. Silence is the source. Silence is the intense activity. In silence, that energy is changing our minds. That is grace, making us calm, humble, divine, and giving us eternal freedom. This all is happening in pure silence, with blessings to all of us. It is like background work continuing all the time within us. If we stay humble and we stay as a devotee, it continues. Sometimes people don't understand how much they have gained in satsang or how much they have improved. They only know when someone from a different energy comes into that group, or how they talk or they think or behave. Then you know, yes, I have moved quite close to it, almost there or there now, almost merging into it. Most important technique is our longing, our interest. That is the only technique, mumukshutva, interest. Allowing yourself to merge in it. Let it do what it wants to do, whatever surgical resection or treatment or cleansing, let it do. Be ready for it. Some of the suffering is part of that cleansing process, which ego thinks is suffering. I remember last time when we went in September, Salana, who was going with us, she couldn't go there. On Singapore airport, they rejected her visa or something happened while she had all the paperwork. But as it was happening at airport in front of that person, she went into bliss, intense bliss. And that custom official was raising his voice and arguing and was upset. And she said, I should be the person who should be upset because I couldn't go. And I don't know why he was upset. And she said, I was in bliss. So Arunachala came to her in Singapore itself. Though we all have to travel to India to go to Arunachala. Self is everywhere. There is no part, nothing which is without self. When we are eager, humble, open, it gives its darshan, it takes away, devours, finishes us. Bhagavan says to Arunachala, I came to you for your to stay in your protection, but you have eaten me away. You have finished me. And now you have made me yourself. You go to Arunachala to worship Arunachala, and Arunachala enters in you and makes you still. Now, Arunachala belongs to whom? To all humanity, to all beings, to everything. There is no ownership of Arunachala. It is not of South Indians or Indians or Hindus or Ramana devotees. There is nothing like that. Anyone from anywhere even thinks of it can attain that pure self, irrespective of your belief system and concepts. Allow this silence to enter into every pore of your body. Allow your mind to enter in this pure silence and merge in it and become silent forever. So we become one with Absolute. No trace of separateness left. All identification drops. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.